What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and we're back today with another list featuring Electrode V, and we're actually going to be pairing it, obviously, with Brute Bonnet like normal, but with something a little bit different and spicy today, with actually pairing it with Parasect, because of its Spores ability, where when you evolve this Pokemon, you can make both active Pokemon asleep and poisoned, and so what that's going to allow you to do is not only, affect your opponent's Pokemon, but it's going to be able to power up Electrode and be able to use Tantrum Blast. And so because it does 100 damage for every special condition it has, you'll be doing 200 damage off the bat. Then we can actually combine that with the Spicy Season Curry for an extra additional 100 damage. So we're hitting 300 damage anytime we want to. And thanks to being able to hold on to the Windup Arm, even if we're asleep because of Parasect, we can actually attack through and be able to knock out our opponent anyway. And then also the benefit of putting our opponent to sleep is that in the occasions where we do need a two-shot, it forces them to have to kind of switch out in order to be able to attack us and get things going. This deck list is really, really fun. I didn't change the original list up too much from the list that was given to me by, I believe it's supposed to be Reckless Hauser, I think is how it's pronounced, Hauser. If I got that wrong, definitely let me know. But I think it is supposed to be Hauser is how you pronounce the last part of it. So it should be Reckless Hauser. And he left me a list before and now this one. They're a ton of fun, so definitely check them out in the comment sections. And then also on his channel, I was checking out is like some wrestling content and stuff like that. So if that's also something you enjoy, definitely go subscribe, give him a shout. Because he's been leaving some awesome lists, and I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that's the way we also play Forest Sealstone to help with our, abilities. And since we have Electrode V, I added a Penny into the deck, and the reason for this is to be able to pick up damaged Electrodes, just to get them out of the, out of the game, reset them, help prevent some prize cards, has proved pretty useful to me. We only run one of it because, it's only useful sometimes, not all the time. But that's most of the deck, and then we obviously run Town Store. But yeah, that's going to be the list, guys. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know any changes you would make. I feel like this is actually pretty optimal. I could see a change in the supporter area being a little bit different, but I think it's pretty good where it's at. And definitely, for sure, feel free to leave me some, lists in the comments. We have a little bit of way before Shining Fates, or not Shining Fates, Pandea Fates. Is that how it said? Pandea Fates? I think that's the name. Or Paldean Fates, or whatever. We're still a little bit away from that, and, I've covered most of the decks in the game that I feel like I'm aware of. So if there's a list that you want me to check out or whatever, definitely let me know. I want to do a Panseer, Panpour, Pansage deck soon and stuff like that. So if there's any lists that you want me to check out, definitely leave them in the comments down below so I can get to those, until we get into the new sets. But yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in game one. Peace. Alright, we're into the game. Our opponent is choosing to go first. And that's actually really good for us. One of the things that makes this deck so strong is its ability to go second. Obviously, it counters a lot of the dark decks right now, like Charizard EX and Roaring Moon and stuff like that, which are, obviously very, very common. If you're not me, because I feel like I never run into them, but that's a different conversation. But its ability to go second is super, super, super powerful, mostly due to the fact that we're able to... Oh, right as I was talking about that, actually. We're able to get into our attacks and, get into our, damage super, super easily right away without really any problems. And it's very, very, very beneficial for us. Since we don't need... I guess I should explain that rather than the way I said that. Because Tantrum Blast doesn't have any energy requirements, we're able to set up with pretty much nothing and hit for super high damage numbers. I feel like that Darkrai is pretty bad. I would not play this. I could see it, like, its purpose, but I feel like it's pretty bad. If I draw into a boss, that would be pretty cool. But I'm probably just going to Arven grab myself an Escape Rope. Yeah, I think we just Nest Ball here a ton. Grab ourselves the Bonnet. Attach that. Nest Ball again. Grab ourselves Sneasler. Yep. And then we grab ourselves one more Electrode. Then we can go ahead and Arven here. Grab ourselves the Seal Stone and the Escape Rope. And then what we can do is just Escape Rope here, force the switch. Kind of assumed that's what he would go into, but that's fine. We can put, yeah, we'll put the Seal Stone onto this first. We'll Star Alchemy. Grab ourselves the Curry, just to guarantee the knockout here. Then we'll Curry. We'll Pokestop here. It's probably going to be detrimental. Yeah, actually, it wasn't bad. And then we can Toxic Powder. And now for here, we forced him to switch, so we had to give up either Squawk or Roaring Moon. We do the 200 damage. Take the prize cards here. We got double Parasect. Would have been nice to have a Paras already on the board, but it's not really that big a deal. The only thing that does is make me not want to use Professor's Research. Just because, you know, that would obviously suck a little bit to have to deal with. But it may be what we have to do, unfortunately. What they'll probably do is just Calamity Storm here. And get rid of the Pokestop. But that was pretty big. That was pretty big for us. But like, even if they knock out Electrode, we just come in with our next one. Look to set up a Paras, potentially. We'll see what else we draw. Because I'd like to just Professor's Research here, but I may not be able to. There's one concealed card. They have one more in hand, or one more dark energy in hand. I think the Roaring Moon build that uses the water energy for Greninja is like objectively worse than other builds. Like, I feel like it just leaves you bricked like half the time. Like, I just don't think it's very good. Oh, that's actually a lot better for me. Because it makes their prize trade a little bit more awkward. And being able to get into a Brute Bonnet and a new... Alright, losing all this stuff is going to be a little bit annoying, but I think this is how we have to play it. We're going to grab ourselves a new Brute Bonnet. We're still going to have a Paras and Parasect in deck, so that's good. And we're going to lay that down now. Since we're researching anyway, we don't need the switches anymore. So we'll grab ourselves one Paras, thin the deck out slightly, and now really all we're doing is looking for like a Town Store. That works too. So we can attach that, yep. And then what we can do is play the Town Store. Go ahead and grab ourselves a new Windup Arm. Then we will go ahead and use the Paras in hand to remove the booster energy capsule. Poison us both. Bop bop. 200 damage. And then we'll do 300 with Sneasler for the knockout. Super easy. Bop bop bop. 2 more prizes. And then we have boss in hand. Perfect. So we have boss in hand. And we have the Windup Arm. So that, yeah, I was going to say the game is over. Because even if they like power something up or whatever and leave it in the back, it doesn't really matter. What we were going to be able to do is drop down the Parasect, attach the Windup Arm, and just attack for game on anything that they brought in. It would, so like the game was over pretty much no matter what they did. Even if they knocked out the Parasect with, or not the Parasect, sorry, the Electrode V that wasn't holding an item, we could just find another pair, like another Electrode. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. So the game was over. So shout out to that. That's game 1, and we'll get into ourselves a game 2. Peace. Alright, we're into the next game. Our opponent also chose to go first. We open a little bit more interestingly. We'll probably have to Ultra Ball away the Penny and Escape Rope. Lost Zone. Lost Zone could be a little hard, depending on its variant. If it's playing a Giratina variant, then we will potentially be fine. If they're playing a like strictly single prizer deck, then this is a pretty bad matchup for us. Okay, cool. Giratina variant makes us slightly easier. Just because it gives us more prize, like more opportunities to just take double prizes. So we're gonna want to like look up to boss this up or something. But our opening hand is not super ideal, if I'm being completely honest. There's Path, but that doesn't matter for us. The Curry's okay. We'll hold on to that for now, though. We'll get rid of Penny, and the other Ultra Ball, I think, is what we have to do. Grab ourselves a Bonnet here. And then we Escape Rope. I assume they just go into like another Comfey, yeah. So we'll attach the booster energy. We'll Toxic Powder, and then we'll just attack normally. Get rid of that. And take prize card 6 for a Nest Ball. That's good. That'll get us Sneasler. Which will be pretty useful. It could get us a second Electrode. What we're really looking for is like a Research or something. If they end up into Giratina V-Star, then that could be a little bit rough because we're going to need to get into Parasect and a Windup Arm. How do we want to play this? Okay, I mean, that's super good for us. Double Nest Ball isn't great here, though. I think we grab Sneasler. And then I think we grab a second Electrode. 1 to pull it out of the deck, but 2 so we have it as like a backup attacker if we had to. And then we just Tantrum Blast, get rid of another Comfey, take another prize card. If we get like a Research right here, really not what we need. We're not getting really anything that we're looking for. What did they just get rid of? They got rid of a V-Star, which I have to assume means they have some in their hand already. We just go into the other Electrode here. I think they want to go Giratina V and Abyss Seeking, just to get the last cards in their Lost Zone that they need. At least we've been able to take out a Comfey every turn, and that's kind of slowed them down, because they're still in a position where they can't Mirage Gate, which is what they really want to do. Yeah, so they're going to have to Abyss Seeking here to get to 7, and then they can Mirage Gate on the next turn. Oh, the boss sucks. We're gonna have to draw into a switch. That is not what we needed. Now they're at 7. We can place this down for later. At this point, we just poison both. Just to start getting some damage down. Make it a little bit easier to KO. Unfortunately, we're not getting the damage off Sneasler. Cram. That's fine. There's a Jet Energy that brings Cram back in. We go Electrode that's already damaged. Knock out the Cramorant. Hold the V-Star or the undamaged Electrode V in the back to knock out Giratina V-Star. And then we just need a knockout on the Sableye. Alright, there's an Arven. That's something for us at least. So we can Arven here. The question is for what? Do we want another Seasoned Curry? Or do we want the Ultra Ball and the Windup? I think we take the Seal Stone here. And grab ourselves the Ultra Ball. Yeah, I think, alright, so I think this is the play, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to Seal Stone here. We'll Star Alchemy, grab ourselves the Research for next turn. Yeah, that's going to be the play. So, what we're looking to do here, and I think this is how we can potentially pull this back. So we'll poison both here. We'll Tantrum Blast. Knock out the Cramorant with the poison on the, change of turns. Go down to 3 prizes. Take prize card 4. Another Booster Energy. Not really that great. What we're going to look to do on our next turn is that they'll probably come in with at the end of this turn, they're probably going to come in and use Giratina V-Star to Lost Impact and knock out the Electrode V. So what we can do is bring in our new one. We can Ultra Ball away the double Ancient Booster Capsules, put down the Parasect, use Parasect's ability, put this to sleep, poison it, Spicy Hot Curry on top of it, and then we Ultra Ball, or we research the rest of our hand away, looking for either a Windup Arm or a Town Store that will get us into the Windup Arm in order to end the, knock this out, which will put us in a position to end the game. I think that's the only play that we have to make, because we know this is coming in. And then what we can do after we knock this out is we can ignore the next Giratina, since we'll just look for a boss or escape rope to knock out Comfey or Sableye. Yeah, there's the Lost Impact. They could have gone Sableye here and just spread damage and tried to, like, set up knockouts that way, but I think they just want the 2 prizes right away. Because, in theory, on their next turn, they can Star Requiem and, you know, knock us out that way. So, get rid of those. We go Parasect here. We drop Parasect down. We use its ability. That also puts it to sleep, which can be helpful for us. We poison ourselves. Alright, perfect. So we got everything we were looking for. The odds were pretty in our favor to find one or the other, though. So that's not, like, insane luck. So we put down the Windup Arm. Now what we can do is Nest Ball, get ourselves a second Paras, so that way our Parasect is set up for next turn. And the main thing that's like luck would be that we drew into the boss for the turn after. But everything kind of was like, everything went to plan there. But a lot of that was just kind of math. Like, we run I think it's 3 Windup Arm and double Town Store, so out of the cards that we had left to find, the chances of us finding it were pretty easy. We would have just had to, like, actually find a way to search for the boss, would have been the, like, the actual play that would have needed to be made. But even then, like, it wouldn't have really mattered, I don't think. Yeah, like, they go back to path here, but we don't need anything else at this point. That's slightly... Oh. Well, that all works out. I mean, they're just going to knock out Paras anyway. With Lost Mine. They have 120 damage to spare around, so they can knock out Paras, then drop some damage onto Electrode, if that's what they want to do. But we drew into the curry, so that's fine. And plus, like, we can get the poison off no matter what, so that's going to be game. If we stay asleep, like, even better, but... See what we draw into. Another curry. We'll lay it down, why not? No reason not to. And we'll drop for another 300 damage. So we were actually able to clutch that one out. We were a little bit behind. And in a pretty bad matchup, all things considered. Oh, there's the other Windup Arm. So maybe our math would have been slightly off. So I guess you can argue we got ever so slightly lucky. But the numbers were there. The math was there for us. So it wasn't that big a deal. But that being said, we were able to clutch that out. Our opening hand wasn't really great, but I think we made the right plays. Maybe there was a better option or better thing I could have done, but I feel like we made the right plays to be able to kind of pull that game back together. And we just made the right calls on what we would have to do in the future, which I think is a really important play, like skill to learn and like kind of get better at, but it's not something that you can really directly improve. It's just something that comes with experience, is that you can kind of make predictions on the plays your opponent wants to make, and you can make your best play for the future, like, based on those predictions. Like, could they have gone Sableye there? And, like, there was other plays they could have made, but we can generally predict, like, they wanted to go into Giratina, they wanted to use the Mirage Gate, they wanted to go use the Lost Impact, you know, start setting up so that way they could get into the Lost Mine easier. Like, all that kind of stuff. Like, we can predict that that's what they want to do. So we were able to plan our turns around that. And that just kind of comes with experience. So to any new players or, like, more unexperienced players, like, watching content is great, but just playing the game will always help you improve. Because there's situations where, like, maybe you would have lost there or whatever. And it just comes down to, like, just playing the game enough that, like, you get comfortable kind of predicting your opponent better, if any of that makes sense. But yeah, that's going to be game 2, guys. That was kind of a long one. So I think we're going to cut it there. Just keep it to 2 games this time. Plus, I got stuff to do. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record the other day, so this video is coming out, I think a day late, unfortunately. I started a new internship, which has been great, but it's kind of killed my recording time right now. Plus, we got hit with a massive snowstorm. So all that kind of stuff kind of disrupted me, but we should be back on track now. So I appreciate you, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And if you made it this far, let me know your favorite candy. Why not? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and don't forget to leave any deck list that you want me to play in the comments below.